opportunity to reread the book later, okay? Alright. Thank you. Head back and work on your other independent work, okay? Thank you. Make sure your poems have separate lines on them. You go from the first, the next, the third, the fourth line. How I showed you, or else you'll have to rewrite them. So can I have Quentin and Skylar and Selena, please? Need your pencil. Looks like Quentin's got it. Good job, Quentin. Alright, so let's point to our title. Let's read the title together. So we have once more. What's at the end of that? Skylar? A question mark does what? What's that mean? It's asking us something. So, it's asking us what, Selena? What is it asking us? Will we see animals? And you'll get an answer, yes or no, probably, right? It's by Megan Litwin, and what's her job? What does she do? She writes the book, so she's called the what? You know what she's called? What's she called? The author, yes, the author writes the story, or usually the person who writes the book. Okay, on the back, we have a realistic fiction. The story is a realistic fiction. What does that mean, Skylar, realistic fiction?
That it could happen in real life.
Okay, it could happen in real life. Is this really happening in the story? If it's a realistic fiction, it's really happening? Okay. Do you think, Selena, that when we say realistic fiction, what do you think? It did happen in real life, yep. So the things that are happening in the story could happen, but it didn't really happen. They just wrote a story for it. We're going to talk about the setting, and we're also going to talk about the plot today. So the setting is where the story takes place, and the plot is what it's all about. Okay, so let's open up to the first page here. We'll go over our sight words first on the back of the cover, so our vocabulary words. So these ones should be pretty easy for you, so let's read them together. We have okay, so again, we have our title. Let's read it once more. Okay, so what I would like you to do is I want you to first whisper read the story, so I should be able to hear you, but you're not too loud that you're bothering the other people. So why don't you scoot down just a little bit, Quentin, so we're not bothering everybody while you're reading. Okay? So, quietly whisper read, and then we'll talk about the story. You keep going, you don't have to wait for anybody. So on this page, the read together about the ants, Let's read together about the ants at the end here. So we have,
As we saw in the book, many different animals make their homes in the woods. Ants are one kind of bird. Ants live in nests. They have many homes and
ants, the queen ant, the mother of all the Okay, so why would they talk about ants at the end of this reading? What would be the reason? What do you think, Skylar? Okay, but what you just read about, why would you talk about ants here? It has a picture, you're right. So why are they talking about ants? Okay, and where do these animals live at in this story? In the forest? Okay, so was the story kind of about animals living in the forest, Quentin? Or was it about animals living in a zoo? Or where were these animals living?
In the woods.
In the woods, yeah. And so can ants be found in the woods? Probably, right? So if you look at the picture on page 5, you see that fox there. What does this picture show you about the weather? What do you notice, Skylar? Okay, it's snowing and they like to go out and hunt in the snow. Okay. The family in this book saw animals. Why did they see animals? Why would this family that wrote this book or went out, why would they see animals, Quentin?
Maybe she likes animals.
Okay, uh-huh.
They might never see them again.
Okay, but why are they seeing animals? Skylar, might be the reason why.
Because they might like animals.
Okay, they do like animals. Do you know anything else? They're in the woods, yeah. And you usually see animals out in the woods, right? Okay. Well, we're going to read it once more together, and then you're gonna work on this, putting it in order. First, next, then, and next. So, let's follow along, putting your finger on we, and we'll read together, okay?
We hiked into the woods. Many animals live here. Watch animals while we see. We can see birds. They live in a nest. They are at home in the woods. We can see a fox. It can hunt in the snow. It is at home in the woods. We can see an ant. It looks for its nest. It is at home in the woods. What a good hike in the woods. We saw many animals at home in the woods. You can see them too.
So, you should have kind of a good idea. You just need one sentence in each of these boxes telling me what are the things that happen first, next, then, and last. So you have the story structure that we're working on this week. So you need your name, the date, first and last name, and then you have to have the title there. So make sure you have the title written by the title part. So we'll do the first part together. together, and then you can go on to the next part. What's the first thing that happens in the story? Selena? Okay, so family goes on a hike. So go ahead and tell me in the first box, a family or they go on a hike. It doesn't matter, you can spell it anyway, okay? So now you can go ahead and tell me next, maybe what they see there, and then what else do they see there, and what happens at the very end. Okay? So use what you remember. If you need to go through the story and remember, you should be able to. We read it twice though, but you should be able to think about it without looking through the story. But if you need the book, that's why you have it. Okay? Okay, so what is, I know the first one, we have that the family goes on a hike, right? So what happens next, Quentin? What's the next thing that happens? Keep working, Skylar, to get caught up, okay? They see birds in a nest. Do you have anything else there, Quentin, or looking in the next box just to see that birds in a nest? Okay, what do you have, Selena? The next box. Okay, so they see an eagle and a fox. So the bird he's talking about is the eagle, right, that you saw, and it's in the nest. So then, what do they see after that, Skylar? Did you have the same thing? You have they saw a bird and a fox. What do they see next? Or then? They see ants. So you have ants in there? So where would the ants come? Are they before the birds? Are they before the fox? After the fox?